Hello, this is RV Vagabond Jerry, and I'm now traveling between Anchorage and Fairbanks, heading north. So I'm going to try and find a few things to show you along the way. And the first stop is at Thunderbird Falls. It's a little ways north of the town of Eagle River, and you'll see a big sign on the highway that says Thunderbird Falls. It's easy to see. So you come to this parking lot here and then go down the trail to the falls overlook point, and it's a mile hike to the overlook point, and it's a lot of up and down, so I would consider it a moderately strenuous walk. I did it and it really was kind of rough on me. And also, let me give you another hiking tip. When you go, be covered in either clothes or mosquito repellent, because they will try and eat you alive. So I'm going to go in now and show you the falls overlook. This is the viewing platform to Thunderbird Falls. And it's really not a really good view point for the falls. The falls go underneath these trees, and then you can see it coming out here. But that's really about all you can see from this point. There's another overlook point here where you can see the gorge that the creek flows through. This should show you just how high up this is. I would guess it might be as much as close to 1,000 feet. Here's another view off to the right of that one. You can see the rock side here. If you drive just a little ways north of Thunderbird Falls and then cross the freeway, and then it's just about a half a mile down, you will find this Eklutna Historic Park. They have several buildings here. This church, this looks like just a storage shed, and then this is a log cabin. They're obviously recreations. They look not very old at all, but the real interesting thing here is the cemetery. Each one of these graves is covered by a house. They build houses over their graves, and this one even has a fence around it. Little house down there. I've been to a lot of cemeteries. I've never seen one done like this. This is about as unusual as it gets, I think. Looks like everybody here had the same idea. This is the blue roof section. Some of the houses are really small. This one is about a little over 2 feet wide. And this one covers the whole grave, about 6, 7, 8 feet or so. Most of them don't have any writing on it, but this one does, and this one over here does as well. This one has a little bit of an epitaph there, and it actually has a gravestone. It's really hard to read though. And these people really wanted a white picket fence around their home. Not many have other decorations. This one does, and this one has some flowers. This one has some nice decorations and gravestone. This one has a nice gravestone as well. And this is the only one I've seen with a picture on it. And this might have been some of her favorite snacks and drinks. I suppose this building has some sort of religious purpose. I don't know. It doesn't really say. Although it has this. There's some more buildings across the street here. And a fairly new car. I'm not sure if these are part of the property here or if this is just something else. There's a big bus here. Somebody's obviously living here and don't want any visitors, it looks like. Big house there. And this door has an exit sign above it. That might be a museum. I got here late in the day, and during the day there is a visitor center here, but it's closed, but the grounds are open, so I was able to go in and not miss this on my way. I'm at the Wasilla Visitor Center, and they also have a museum here I wanted to show you a few things in. They have an old homestead house set up here. With a kitchen and entertainment room. They have several dog sleds in here. I should probably fix the roof to this house. This is a display of weeds and how they are used in medicines. This is Wasilla, how it looked in around 1920. This is a model of a mining operation, and here they show what's below the surface. The bottom of the mine. And they have an old dentist office. Here's the dental chair, looks familiar. They have a Canada goose and other stuffed small animals. It's a small but a nice museum. The museum also has some old buildings right behind it. Got this barn, blacksmith shop, and this must be their first post office. And how about this? They have a log cabin sauna. I wonder how that works way up here in Alaska. A sauna in a log cabin. I am in Denali State Park, which is just south of Denali National Park, and they have this parking camping area right off of the highway. It's called Denali View South is this particular spot. And they have this viewpoint built up here where you can see the mountains in the distance there, and also this river. So I'm going to zoom in on the mountains there. Your view of the mountains around Denali always varies greatly with the cloud conditions. Sometimes you get good days and sometimes you get bad days. This looks like it's going to be a good day. This is early morning, and it is wonderfully clear compared to yesterday, which was totally clouded over. And they have this so that you can identify each one of the peaks. So this is nice. So you can know just what you're looking at. And then over here, they have this board that discusses the name of the main mountain. Is it Denali or McKinley? This tells a bit about how it happened, that it was originally Denali and then became McKinley, and the state has kind of had a fight with the federal government over the name of the place. So Denali is that mountain right there in the middle. Although it's hard to tell with the clouds covering it. But you can actually see the peak of the mountain right there. It's right above the clouds right now. So I'm going to give you one more view of Denali, and then I'm going to take off into Denali National Park. Here's a nice overlook stopping point along the highway from Denali National Park to Fairbanks. Nice view of the river out here. Not sure which river that is. And this highway from Anchorage to Fairbanks is called the Parks Highway. And I always thought, I assumed that it was because of the Denali National Park and Denali State Park. But this says it was actually named after George Parks. Interesting. Well, I made it to Fairbanks, and I plan to stay here for at least 5 days because there's a lot of things to see in Fairbanks. And I did some research of what kind of place to stay here, and I wanted to stay in an RV park where I would have their full facilities. But when I left Denali National Park just this morning, just before I left, I dumped my tanks and I filled up with fresh water. So there's a good part of the use of an RV park. The only other thing is electricity, and I've been getting along just fine lately with my batteries and recharging my batteries each day with solar. So I found this place that I like. It's basically just a parking lot. That's all I got, but that's all I need. But it's not just a parking lot, it's also an RV park. So let me tell you about that. It's a city park called Pioneer Park, and I took a little look around, and I think I'm going to be doing another video just about Pioneer Park. But here in their parking lot, they have designated spaces where they charge $12 a day for RVers to park all night or all day. $12 a day for 24 hours, and they let you park up to 5 days. Now normally I don't pay just to park in a parking lot, but for $60 for these 5 days, It gives me the comfort that there's not going to be a problem leaving my motorhome here all day while I go driving around town in my scooter to see all the sights. And finding any other place to stay was becoming very difficult. So this kind of worked out for me. So I hope you've enjoyed this video of the various sites I've seen between Anchorage and Fairbanks. Good day, folks.